So for the first episode, I have with me Mr. K. Ramkumar. He's the founder and MD of the Leadership Center. Sir, welcome to Entrepreneurs 11.
Thank you for having me, Jayesh. Lovely connecting back to a friend and a colleague.
So we'll quickly jump into the first segment, which I call Gully Cricket. When did you decide to get into entrepreneurship? And was it always in the back of your mind?
Of an employment is quite a bit, right? Let's be very clear. In fact, I'm very proud of people like you at your young age. So you have not sought that kind of a comfort. But I really say it. These days, when I see a lot of young people do this, I'm really very proud of all of you, right? So in my case, the generation where I grew, because it was coming from a lower middle class family, a bank clerk's son, eldest of 5 children, the job was really must, okay. Otherwise, you have nothing else to look for in life, actually.
Sure.
So in my case, one of the good things was that wherever I worked with whichever senior leaders I worked, all my seniors who were my bosses gave me a latitude of freedom which was almost entrepreneurial. Right? But the only thing is that my equity money was not there. The only equity was my reputation. So to a large extent, I have a strong risk appetite. Sports cultivated a very strong discipline in me, very strong standards, right? And I was not, sports again cultivates you to say, don't worry about losing. Don't worry about failure. So all this during my working years also was driving me. I said, at some stage I have to pursue my passion. My passion was basically in the area of learning and development, in the area of people development. And I said that, can I go and try to find an institution which I'm not saying will be at Harvard, which has the same class and standard as Harvard when people look up to credibility in the domain of leadership development. We don't have such an institution in India. I really don't know whether I will succeed. So that is when about 2010-11 is when this thought came into the mind. In 2016 to come out and set up the institution.
So we move on to the next segment called Power Play, right? So my question to you would be that if there is one line or if there is one word that you think or when you hold on to when you talk about leadership, which is the core driving force behind your venture, what would that be?
You would have to create value more than for yourself. If entrepreneurship is about creating value only for yourself, right, it will never succeed. You definitely have to create value for yourself, but your mind has to say, I am here to create value to a large set of people.
So, let me ask you a slightly spot of bother kind of a question. What has been your most difficult experience after you have become an entrepreneur?
First day, 1st of August, I walk into Leadership Center, 750 square feet office here in Worli. Not a brag. You've seen the room in ICCI, right? I've seen, right? I didn't want it, I didn't underwrite it. Sure. So I'm there to walk into that office. And as I opened, and I'm used, right? Nobody ever opened, I have never opened an office door in my life. I opened an office door, walked in there, the sheer emptiness of it created a fear in the pit of my stomach. I said, idiot, what have you done? I said, how am I going to get through the day? It was fear, dread. I said, it was not about money. Where will the money come from this? It was a sense of, what happens? Well, you don't know what to do now. 1st August, we started the business, right? Ramkumar walking to the office. The first contract of the business, not money. The contract in my hand was only on 5th of January, 2017.
Sure. So apart from the first contract that you got, what has been the most exhilarating moment in your entrepreneurial journey?
Honestly, the joy was to get back to the classroom on 17th of January with Chaparji Apology. I will never forget them. My first client. To go there, stand there, and now it is not the contract when the business started. It is only when you started serving the customer.
Sure.
That first minute, right, you had goosebumps. Right. That session, that minute at 9 o'clock, Shaparji Palamji, walking in that moment will never go from my mind.
So, if there is one thing that you could change or improve from maybe the first few years or first few steps of your journey, specifically entrepreneurship or earlier as well, what would that be?
One lesson, if I had to do all over again, I would have endured and be patient with the emptiness and then pick the people who are startup type.
Sure.
The people who have the passion for a small company and are not looking for the large company support structures.
Sure.
The second, if I were to look at it, not be so impatient for writing a business.
So, how do you pick people who are, quote unquote startup type? How do you judge that passion within the budget?
I agree. So, one of that I realized, right?
Sure.
My experience tells me that the first few people who pick up for the startup have to have a strong ambiguity tolerance. Have to be people who are not dependent on structure. Right? Also have to be people who are willing to try out without fear. Right? So to say, let me try this.
Sure.
Should not be looking for you to be telling everything to them.
Right.
Do that, they have to be those self-initiators in terms of thinking. But more important than all of that, the first 3 or 4 people who join you have to have the mentality of co-owners. I believe that every startup, though the first few people who join do not bring money as an equity, they bring their ability as an equity.
Sure.
Now on the point you made about affordability, right? That's really where I believe honesty becomes very important for you. We'll have to sit down and tell a person by saying that in an entrepreneurial journey, there is only so much we can do in putting fixed salary on the table. Then we contract with them to say that the rest of it, right, we would have earned and put on the table.
They grow as the company grows.
Absolutely.
So we move on to our next segment called Silly Point, right? So it is more like a rapid fire sort of. Your go-to piece of literature for inspiration?
My go-to piece of literature for inspiration is Mahabharata, because it is the most practical piece which does not idealize anything.
Sure. Choices now. So I'll give you a set of questions with either or. So you can pick one, right? Ramkumar the writer or Ramkumar the sports aficionado?
I still think Ramkumar the writer excites me.
This might be slightly tougher. Kaka or Beckham?
I know Beckham belongs to Manchester United, my team. But I think Kaka is as a footballer,
sure,
one of our all-time great player with great potential, but unfortunately could not live up.
True, absolutely. Matt Busby or Sir Alex Ferguson?
Matt Busby. Ferguson, I admire a lot, but what Matt Busby did is what Manchester United will be 100 years from now.
Kapil Dev or Saurav Ganguly?
Saurav. Kapil, I'm a fan, but Saurav changed Indian cricket. Though Kapil won the World Cup, that changed, but leadership.
Right.
The way he built teams, the way he created self-belief in every Indian, right, including inspiring people like Kumble's, Dravids and Tendulkars, not just the Sehwags, Yugis, Bajis and Zahirs and Niyaz. Right. Dada is a once-in-a-lifetime great leader, and watch him. He would be the ICC chief and see the way he will revolutionize cricket in the world.
Right.
Special.
Right. Okay. So Sun Tzu or Chanakya?
Chanakya. Not because he's Indian. Because Sun Tzu, to a large extent, limited himself to warfare. Whereas Chanakya applied what he brought in to the whole community and the society, in which warfare was only one part which was interlinked to so many things. And Chanakya, in a way, presented to leaders a governance structure which is practical.
Karna or Arjuna?
Arjuna. I'll tell you for a different thing. Karna's ethics are suspect for me. For all the people say, a man who ever says that a woman should be disrobed.
Sure.
Somebody who does not know how to treat a woman and somebody who exploits somebody's unfavorable position.
Okay, fair.
So in my mind, I will not forgive Karna for that ever in Mahabharata.
Last question in this segment. What is your go-to cheap thrill?
My cheap thrill is taunting Chelsea. And worst of it is to really taunt those, Arsenal brothers. Right now, cheap thrill, right?
At the risk of polarizing, any parting words that you would have for entrepreneurs of all age groups but budding?
My personal view, never get into entrepreneurship for name and fame.
Sure.
And never get into entrepreneurship with romantic notions. My belief is that an entrepreneurial venture is a back-breaking, nerve-wracking, and every day one step climb to the Everest. When you finish 25 years later, when the biography of your business is written by somebody, that is when the romance comes. Don't look for it every week. Don't look for headlines in the newspaper. A letter from your customer saying how what you did created value, frame it and keep it. That is your award.